Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Heath. I'm here to do your read aloud for today. And thinking about springtime, which is the season we are in right now, I would like to read a springtime book. This one's called My Spring Robin. My Spring Robin. A robin is a kind of a bird. And a lot of times, people in Michigan, especially, when they see a robin in their yard, they know that spring is coming. That's usually a sign of spring when you see a robin. And so I'm wondering, do we see a robin on the front cover? I see her looking at flowers. What do you see in that flower there? I don't know if that's a bird. Doesn't really look like it, huh? So my author is Anne Rockwell, and she wrote the words. My illustrator is Harlow Rockwell and Lizzie Rockwell, and they drew the pictures. So it sounds like this is a family of Rockwells. Annie Rockwell, Harlow Rockwell, and Lizzie Rockwell. They all worked on this book together. Now watch when I turn to the back cover. That's what a robin looks like. A lot of times a robin will have a brown back and a reddish orangish chest. So that's what a robin will look like when you see one in your yard. At the back it says, "Spring is here again. Will my robin come back to me?" So this is called My Spring Robin. Here we go. Inside title page, My Spring Robin. I see some flowers. Here we go. A robin sang a song for me every day last summer. I liked that robin. So the robin is singing and tweeting for her every day. But in the fall, my robin flew away. My father said it would come back in the spring. So when spring came, so here we go, the month of March, which was last month, and we know spring comes. He's pointing to the 21st, which is the first day of spring. I went looking for my spring robin. So it's springtime, so she's looking. This makes me think of the cover page. There she is, looking for her robin. There she is. I saw a bee taking honey from a crocus, but I didn't see my robin. So what's funny is I'm a beekeeper, and the bee's not taking honey from the crocus. It's taking pollen. The pollen is on the little yellow things in the middle of the flower, the stamen, and there's pollen on there, and that's what the bee is putting on its legs. They usually carry it on its legs. But no robin. The bee's busy though. I looked into the yellow forsythia bush, but my robin wasn't there. So I'm noticing something. This girl is naming some of the things she's looking in. Here is a yellow forsythia bush. That's a kind of bush that blooms in the spring, bright yellow leaves and flowers. And a crocus is this beautiful white purple flowers that they usually blossom first of all the flowers in the springtime. So a crocus, a forsythia bush, no robin yet, but I do see a kitty. My robin was not sitting high up in the branches of the magnolia tree. So here's a magnolia tree with the beautiful magnolia blossoms. They're so pretty. In the fern garden behind our outdoor table, fuzzy fiddleheads were sprouting in last year's wet brown leaves. So here she calls them fuzzy fiddleheads, which is a kind of plant that's growing in the dirt here. But I don't see my robin there. So now we can see her whole house. And she's really looking for this robin. There's the magnolia tree. There's the forsythia bush. Here's the crocus flowers. She doesn't see the robin anywhere yet, though. Wonder where she'll find him. I saw a tiny toad. It happened behind a clump of daffodils to hide from me. So here's a little toad, tiny toad. And here's the daffodils. Daffodils are another type of flower that blooms first thing in the spring. I looked high up into the sky to see if my robin was flying back to me. Drops of rain fell on my face, and our neighbor's cat ran home. Do you think the cat ran home because he didn't want to get rained on? I bet. No rain on cats. They don't like that. After the shower, I picked a little bunch of purple violets for my mother. I watched a shiny earthworm wiggle up out of the ground. So here's the violets. Violets are a violet color or purple, and there's the little earthworm wiggling up out of the ground. Do you think there's a robin yet? And then I heard it. I heard the song. Cheer up, cheerily, cheer up, cheerily, cheer up, cheerily. I knew who was singing that song. So did you hear that pattern? Cheer up, cheerily, cheer up, cheerily. Do you think that's the sound a robin might make? I wonder. She says she knew who was singing that song. It was my spring robin. There he is. And look, he's on the back too. How funny is that? So there's her robin. It makes me wonder, he was making the sound, cheer up, cheerily, cheer up, cheerily. Do you think he might have been trying to go for this guy right here? And that's why she started to hear him when she was picking the violets. There was an earthworm, and maybe the robin saw the worm and wanted to peck at it and get it for a meal. And that's the end. So my question for you is, thinking about all these things that the girl saw in her yard that were blooming and blossoming and growing. She saw all kinds of things that were happening in the springtime growing after the snow melted. Can you tell me something you've seen since the snow has melted? What have you seen on the ground? Do you see anything growing? Are there any flowers growing? Do you see any blossoms starting on the trees? I'm not sure if anything's happening. You tell me what you see in your yard. Maybe the grass is brown still. Maybe it's starting to turn green. Maybe there's some little buds coming on the branches of the trees, or maybe your flowers are starting to come up on the ground. Do you see green leaves coming up? Let me know what you see now that spring has sprung and winter is over. I'd love to know what you can see. I hope you have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.